ladies and gentlemen, host two podcasts, a music podcast called You Heard and a movie podcast called Starring Ryan Gosling. You can also see him on multiple shows around town. Let's hear it for Derek Kopswa. Hey!
Did someone call the Kopswa? I don't have confidence issues, but I do find it weird when a woman picks me in a room full of dudes. Because every time without fail, they're always like, yeah, that guy, officer. Just making sure y'all fuckles with the chuckles, know what I mean? You passed, it's cool. I've been feeling pretty good lately, folks. Recently found out that being fat is a genetic thing, which makes me feel great for two reasons. First off, it means I don't have to try anymore. And two, that means even when I was a little sperm, I was swimming wearing a shirt. Tell you a little bit more about myself. I support transgender rights. I don't. All right. Okay. It doesn't affect me whatsoever what you identify as, what bathrooms you use. None of my business. But I will say, I do hate when people bring their opposite gender kids into the bathroom, especially when I'm in there. Not out of any insecurity issues. I got this body on lock. You can't have this and not have it on lock, folks. I just feel like if a little girl sees me using the bathroom, it's gonna wreck her life. Like 10 years down the road, she's still in therapy. She's like, I can't move on since the day I saw that fat guy shitting in a urinal. I did used to get in trouble in middle school for wearing my sister's clothes. Oh shit, indeedy. Not because I was cross-dressing in Mississippi, but because I was wearing t-shirts that said, I love cum. In Comic Sans. The sluttiest font. You guys seem mostly hip. Can I get a Helvetica yeah? Well, that was a response. All right. Let's see. I wanted to let you guys know something. I did live in Mississippi for a while, most of my life. Been here a few years. My biggest culture shock from living in Mississippi and moving to Austin was as a Walmart cashier, I realized I had to ID people when they bought markers. Are the drugs so boring in this town that people are like, you know what else was tight in the 80s? Inhalants. Let's go retro with that too. Dude's hanging out in the local discotheque bathroom with his buddy, and he's like, hey man, let's go to the sink. I got some Coke lines waiting for us. He's like, nah, dude, brought old Sharpie. He just draws lines next to the Coke lines and rails the sink. Mississippi was a weird place to live. Like, I used to have some really dumb friends. Like, I have this friend named Johnny. He was like if a ska song couldn't get laid. Whatever you're picturing, that's what he looks like. This is one of them open-ended comedy shows. So, yeah, he and I used to hang out all the time. There was one night I got off work, went over to his place, and I was like, hey, went to his place, got in there, asked him, what are we doing? He says, all right, so 3 things. First off, we're going to smoke a bowl. And I'm like, hell yeah, got to get my carbs for the day. Second off, we're going to watch Child's Play 2. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Love underrated sequels. It's like, third, we're going to, at 1 in the morning, give some strangers a ride to the airport. I was like, what? He said, I don't know, man. I was at work. They had a bond with me. They wanted me to bring them to the airport instead of some taxi, because this is like 10 years ago. This is like before Uber and Lyft were like the thing to do, you know? If you didn't want to do the taxi, you wanted to find a cool guy that worked at a pizza place who was desperate for $15 at 2 a.m, which was my friend Johnny. He asked me, we can do all these things, but it would be really tight if you came with me. Would you please come with me? I was like, are you fucking serious, dude? It is Friday night in Mississippi. There is literally nothing else to do. Of course, I will go with you. And I said, so, like, do you feel safe? He goes, oh, no, not at all. That's why I want you to come with me. And I'm like, you guys can see me. I'm more of a cardio guy. I am not strong enough to fend off people with my muscles. And so I asked, do we have any weapons, anything to defend ourselves with? He goes, well, I have this $7 pawn shop knife. And I just brought like a Game Boy because I thought we were hanging out at his place. I was like, we're going to die, dude. And his brother comes from the bathroom and says, you guys just want to borrow my gun? And we're like, yes, we would love to borrow your gun. He's like, okay, come to my office. He was living on Johnny's couch, but he hid his guns in Johnny's room in some little wall under the bed. It was weird. So he pulls out this graphite suitcase that says Boondock Saints on it. And he opens it and he's like, do you want number 1 or 2 All Saints Day? And I'm like, number 2. I'm all about the underrated sequels. He sends me like a YouTube link on how to handle guns, and I just put it in a Ziploc bag. I'm like, I guess we're on our way. He's like, cool, you guys have fun. So we go down the stairs and get in Johnny's car like 40 seconds since we left the apartment. And Chris comes back down and he says, hey, I just realized it's really dumb that I leave my gun with you. I'm going to go with you guys. And I didn't mention this, but Chris was a lot bigger than me. He was like, if you took a picture of me and put it in Microsoft Paint and just dragged the corner for eternity, just really tall, really blurry me. So there's me, a little dude, and then a way bigger dude in the back, and we're trying to pick up this couple, and they came out looking like very shocked that they were in this newly revealed clown car situation where there was no makeup or socks. Beach bums, baby. So the whole ride was like, okay, nothing really happened, but it was like probably the most intense amount of time anyone's ever listened to They Might Be Giants. We were just hoping any of our opinions didn't trigger them to where we had to do something to them. We ended up dropping them off and going back to Johnny's, and I ended up saying, dude, you need to just really learn to say no, because we almost just became the worst Coen Brothers movie. And Chris, like, when we got there, he just put down his gun and then picked up an Xbox controller to play Call of Duty, which that was funny to me. He either always has to be holding a gun or a conduit for a gun. And Johnny was like, yeah, dude, I realized I should probably start saying no to things. By the way, do you want to do this ecstasy with me? I'm like, are you kidding? It is Saturday morning in Mississippi. There is nothing else to do. Of course I'll take ecstasy with you. I am a Domino's delivery driver because I fit the profile. Sexy. Sexy's the profile. You got eyes, use them, folks. Being a Domino's delivery driver is pretty fun. It is weird when you think about how fucking apps and technology fuck with your job, because there's these apps now, like the Domino's Pizza Tracker app. You guys may have used it today. There's like 50 of you. One of you did not leave until recently. And it's weird because it's this app that lets people not only what's happening with their pizza, but with what's happening in my life. It has all these notifications. It has this bar that progresses. It's like my life has been reduced to a sad PlayStation loading screen. It's like, Derek is cutting your pizza. Derek is putting your pizza in his car. Derek is crying in his car before leaving with your pizza. It just gives another notification a few minutes later and says, hey, between you and me, Derek should have finished college. Who here loves your job? Oh, come on. As I mentioned, I did used to work for Walmart. Have you guys ever gone to any job ever and you've made the eye contact with your coworker where y'all just share that misery and one of you goes, and of course the other is like, dude, I fucking get it. Well, one day when I was working as a Walmart cashier, a coworker and I made a game out of suicide gestures for each other. And it was like the most fun 3 hours of that shift ever. But he ended up taking it too far because this is what he closed with. He got fired. You guys have been great. Thank you so much.